I want to focus my remarks today on that NPR, which was adopted on May 5th by the three banking agencies. This joint NPR, as you know, has been a long time coming. The last major revision of the rule implementing CRA occurred in 1995. That's over 25 years ago. A lot has changed in the banking industry during that time. It was imperative for the federal banking agencies to take up the challenge of adapting CRA in a way that responds to those changes and strengthens its impact. And I know after I speak here today, you're going to see a video with my colleagues, Vice Chair Brainerd from the Federal Reserve and Acting Comptroller Sue from the OCC. And I want to underscore the cooperative and collegial effort to produce this NPR. The three agencies are very much together in putting forward this important proposal. Now, the Community Reinvestment Act seeks to address one of the most intractable challenges of our financial markets: access to credit, investment, and basic banking services for low and moderate income communities, both urban and rural. As you well know, CRA was a response to the redlining practices of government housing programs and private sector lending institutions that denied credit to neighborhoods with poorer households and large minority populations. The provisions of CRA, as originally enacted in 1977, were deceptively simple, but they were groundbreaking. The key provision of the Act states, and I quote, "In connection with this examination of a financial institution, the appropriate federal financial supervisory agency shall assess the institution's record of meeting the credit needs of its entire community, including low and moderate income neighborhoods," close quote. Since its enactment, CRA has become the foundation of responsible finance for low and moderate income communities in the United States. And the NPR, approved by the federal banking agencies on May 5th, would significantly expand the scope and rigor of CRA and assure its continued relevance for the next generation. Now, I have to tell you that there's a lot in this NPR. It's a complex and detailed document. But in my remarks today, I would like to highlight 10 important provisions of the proposed rule that we believe will significantly strengthen and enhance the effectiveness of CRA. So this is my top 10 list, if you will, and I'm going to go through them 1 to 10. So first, the NPR would establish new retail lending assessment areas to allow for CRA evaluation in communities where a bank may be engaging in significant lending activity, but where the bank does not have a branch. As you know, currently, CRA assessment areas are tied to bank branches. Bank lending in communities in which the bank does not have a physical presence is generally not subject to CRA. While bank branches continue to play a critical role in serving communities, technology has made possible an increasing proportion of bank lending activity unrelated to the branch network. Some banks have only one branch or no branch at all, yet engage in large-scale lending across a broad geographic area. These new retail lending assessment areas are a means of subjecting that lending activity to a CRA review regardless of the business model of the bank. And I can't underscore sufficiently the importance of that provision. The retail lending test under the NPR would require an evaluation of mortgage and small business lending, and for banks with more than $10 billion in assets, auto lending as well. The first time CRA would be expanded to include consumer lending. These new retail lending assessment areas represent a critically important adaptation of CRA to the changing nature of the banking business. And it's worth noting that in addition to the branch-based assessment areas and the new retail lending assessment areas, a bank would also be subject to a statewide test to capture areas not included in the other two, as well as a multi-state MSA review and an institution-wide review. The objective here is to subject all of the bank's lending activity to a CRA evaluation in a way that has not been done before.